Welcome to another edition of the Turnpike Sports Book Report. I'm Doug Weischadle here with Dave Weischadle. We're here to give you a whip-around look at some of the latest news coming out of the sports betting industry. This week in our state and national reports, we're going to be going through some August and September reports as well as some fiscal year reports.
Oh, okay.
Deals, we've got a gamification deal. Yes.
Okay.
As well as another integrity deal involving IC360 and a couple others to discuss. Industry updates, licenses, launches, and exits. And then we're going to finish up with our legislative roundup. We've got news coming out of Massachusetts, Colorado, and Kentucky.
Kentucky, okay.
Yes. We'll start talking state and national right after this.
Interest rates and inflation are out of control. Is your credit card debt also out of control? It's time to resolve your debt and take back control for a lot less than what you owe. If you have $10,000 or more in credit card debt, then you need to call us right now. Debt Fix Pros can significantly reduce the amount you owe, and you could be debt-free faster than you think.
I knew we had to do something. Our debt was growing.
It was getting out of control, and we just didn't know what to do.
We saw an ad for Debt Fix Pros. We called and they showed us how fast they could get us out of debt.
It really was amazing, and now we're back in control.
Call now, and we'll show you how easy it is to fix your debt. The call and consultation are free. Call Debt Fix Pros right now at 800-479-3522. That's 800-479-3522. 800-479-3522.
Welcome back to the Turnpike Sports Book Report. Doug Weischadle here with Dave Weischadle. We're going to start off our state and national reports going back in the calendar to the August sports betting report. Now, the August sports betting report for Kentucky.
Oh, Kentucky, okay.
Marked the end of its first full year of operation.
Oh, okay. Happy anniversary, Kentucky.
Or happy birthday.
Yeah.
After the first full year, here are the year one numbers. We've got $2.41 billion in total handle, 283 and some change for the year one gross gaming revenue, year one adjusted gaming revenue, $277 million, and year one taxes passed $39 million. Good showing by them.
Nice. Yeah. Now, well,
Yes.
that's important for the state, the taxable revenue.
Exactly. Looking at market share, we've got DraftKings and FanDuel accounting for nearly 76% of the mobile handle for the entire year.
Okay.
Bet365 came in with about 8% of the market share.
All right.
Those are the podium leaders right there, first, second, and third place for the state of Kentucky.
Boy, there's a big gap between first and between DraftKings and FanDuel and Bet365.
Well,
it's good Bet365 has made some great deals, and I'm sure they're going to make some inroads in Kentucky. But that's just, it's like that with every state. It's either FanDuel or DraftKings.
Yeah.
One of those two for sports betting.
They have the most varied product.
Yeah.
And also they're the most recognizable because of also their fantasy sports connection.
I can tell you right here in New Jersey, they do the most marketing.
Yes.
So,
But moving forward in the calendar, we're going into the month of September now. We've got a retail sports betting report for the month of September from the state of Michigan. Detroit's 3 retail sports books. And for the month of Michigan, $22 million in terms of retail handle
that's
alone.
the month of what? September.
Month of September.
Okay. The month of Michigan. Yeah,
The month of Michigan.
There you go.
go.
The month of Michigan.
Well, it is the month of
it's
retail
officially
in
the
Michigan
month of Michigan.
because the 3 retail books have passed $1 billion in handle since they launched in March of 2020.
Wow. Okay.
So that's just the retail. That hasn't even covered the mobile side yet. They released that at a separate time.
Okay.
Moving over to Washington, D.C., the District of Columbia reported their September sports betting numbers.
Record-breaking, yeah.
Yes, record handle, record revenue, record taxes.
Yep.
So ever since FanDuel came into the picture and took over from Gambit, wow, they have been kicking butt.
Yep. Yep.
Handle and revenue were both more than 4 times higher than they were in September of last year.
I mean, these weren't just records. I mean, these numbers
shattered.
blew by the old numbers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it shows how difficult it was to work with Intralot and Gambit there.
Well, it's another approach.
Yes.
Every sports betting operator has a different approach to the market, and whether it works in one jurisdiction versus another jurisdiction, that's to be seen. But it just humming along in Washington D.C. Good for them.
Now it is, yes.
Yeah, now it is. Yeah.
Speaking of records, we're going up to the state of Maine, where they reported their sports betting numbers. They have record handle and record revenue.
Okay.
So, and state's year-to-date gross gaming revenue has passed the $40 million mark as well.
Now, what was the New England state that just launched their retail?
Maine.
Okay,
Yeah,
Maine. All right, there you go.
Odd
Fellas.
There you go.
AH at the end. So.
Yep. State recorded its first $50 million monthly handle. So they're doing extremely well.
Nice.
Continuing our stroll down record lane here, we've got Pennsylvania doing their annual report. Fiscal year 2023-2024, the Commonwealth has reported a new state sports betting handle record, over $8.1 billion during the fiscal year.
Wow, okay.
That's up 13% from the previous year. iGaming revenue has also reached $1.9 billion for the fiscal year, so that's great to see there. Tax revenue was up over $840 million, in terms of all-purpose gambling there. The only part of the market for iGaming that showed a decline was poker.
Okay.
Yeah, poker had a 9% decrease in its activity, $28 million in taxable revenue.
Okay.
And we're going to finish up our state and national reports with New York. New York, for the week ending September 29th, just so we're clear where we're talking about.
Okay.
That was the fifth straight week of over $400 million in weekly handle and over $30 million in weekly gross gaming revenue.
Now, they had a couple of weeks in August where they didn't reach the 400 million mark. So
all of September, they're over 400 million, as a matter of fact.
I told you it bounces back, when football comes, the baseball playoffs are, in view. It's a great time in the sports betting industry. September or October, I always think I could be wrong. It's just my observation. It's great for the sports betting operators.
Well, the NFL's back.
Well, the NFL's back.
That's the main driver.
You have baseball playoffs.
Yeah,
you have hockey starting. You got basketball's quickly coming up. Their opening day for basketball. So,
You'll be hard-pressed to beat the NFL.
Football's king.
Yeah.
Whether it be college or NFL, football is king.
In fact, the week ending September 29th was their first $500 million weekly handle since May 12th.
Wow. See? Look at that.
So everything is starting to turn around again. They're going $500 million. As a matter of fact, they had an 8-week run of at least 4 weeks of those 8 weeks ending at the end of 2023 where they were hitting $500 million.
Sure.
So they are back into the groove again, I guess you can call it.
I guess it's sports betting season again.
Fiscal year-to-date handles past $10.5 billion. Fiscal year-to-date gross gaming revenues already passed $1 billion. Now, remember, the fiscal year begins in April, not January. So they are doing extremely well. And for this past week, the week ending September 29th, DraftKings and FanDuel combined for about 75% of the handle.
Wow, okay.
Just like in Kentucky. 75%. That seems to be the perfect number for those two.
Yep.
That's it for state and national. We're going to be talking deals right now. Starting off our deal segment here, we're going with BetMGM. We started last week off with BetMGM. We're starting this week off with BetMGM.
Yep.
BetMGM announced that it's teaming up with sports gamification and content provider GTG Network to deliver customized content and useful betting insights for sports fans.
That's the key word nowadays. Customization.
Customized content.
And anyone, it's just like you go into the supermarket and the scanner reads your grocery list almost after when you're paying for it, and they pump out coupons that you might be interested in. That's the customization, and they're doing that in sports betting now.
And, you're starting to see the words customization and insights always used together in some way, shape, or form.
Or if you're ever in a meeting with the operators, we're using our AI products to create customization to really get engaging.
Fan engagement. There's the other phrasing right there.
Yes, you'll love that.
Yep.
You always hear that in a meeting.
According to the release, a multi-year agreement will roll out in phases, beginning with direct-to-consumer content, which means the emails everyone receives, as newsletters, the blog, social media. What is that? The Roar that they call their blog?
Yeah, that's their blog, right?
Yes, they'll have player and team insights as well as some customized content, for all major sports at some point. Right now, it's going to start with Major League Baseball, NBA, NFL, NHL, college basketball, college football. I think that is all the major sports.
Yeah.
They're going to be doing player statistics, win probabilities. They're going to be increasing the content and insights for their customers.
Mm-hmm. I got to ask you, we were actually mentioned in the Roar one time. Didn't we do an interview with Borgata's poker director Kelly DeCellis about an upcoming event?
Yes,
that they were having there, and they did an article on the interview. So
they did an article on the interview. Yeah, that's an interesting.
Cool. So we actually made the Roar. So yes. I'm pretty excited about that.
Very meta. It's a little extra layer.
Yeah, no, it's pretty cool.
Next deal
that's why I recognize the Roar.
The Roar, yeah.
Yes.
Playtech is our next deal online. Playtech announced the expansion of its partnership with Bet365 into Pennsylvania following their success in the state of New Jersey.
Yeah, I was just going to say they're in New Jersey too. So
yep.
Okay. Bet365
will be putting Playtech's exclusive content offering in Pennsylvania, and the launch also follows their recent delivery of what they call a bespoke game in Spain.
What's that mean?
Super Spin Roulette. They specifically made it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's like a generic game kind of thing. So
all right,
it can be sent out to other customers they
okay.
have.
All right.
Moving over to college sports, we've got IC360 announcing another deal.
Yeah.
Very interesting. IC360 announced it has a renewed and expanded its partnership with the Mountain West Conference.
Great.
Mountain West will utilize Alert 360, which is the real response platform for an anonymous reporting mechanism for players, coaches, trainers, and other college personnel to report harassment as well as integrity issues.
I think this is a great tool. It's so important in especially college sports. I think this is so important.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the main thing is it provides anonymity for the reporting.
Yeah,
too.
I mean
it does provide an additional layer of safety with that anonymity.
It's a safe way to tell about what you're seeing or if you're observing any improprieties in the system. It's such a great way to do it. So
and just to help promote this, basically the system allows anonymous call or text to the number 317-933-8737 to report instances of threats, harassment, abuse, or any attempts to influence integrity of competition.
I think that's a huge issue in sports, in all sports, and I think this is IC360 is doing a great job with it.
And they also developed a personalized QR code for the Mountain West Conference.
Good.
Last deal to talk about for this week, we've got the Coalition for Fantasy Sports, which is a coalition between Prize Picks, Underdog Fantasy, Better, and Dabble. All fantasy sports platforms.
All right.
They have done a partnership with a group called ID Pair. All right. Which is a safer gaming firm revolutionizing player health through innovative, responsible gambling tools.
I love the fact they're working together. I love they're making this coalition.
You mean the coalition?
I think this is great. Yeah.
It's nice to see they're actually working to increase the responsible gambling aspects of fantasy sports.
They're working.
Sometimes that gets forgotten about when you talk sports betting and online
I know.
Gaming.
It's when you talk about responsible gambling, a lot of people automatically think of sports betting, but fantasy sports has this too, and they're doing a great job. I love the fact they're coming together and they're making the industry stronger. So good for them.
The one part about this that I really like, it's a self-exclusion tool they're developing, but when people log on and try to do their self-exclusion, they can pick and choose which sites they want to be excluded from, or all of them, all in one step.
Okay.
So it's a really simplified, straight-ahead, responsible gambling tool that's really nice to see in the market.
Oh, great.
That's it for the deals. We're going to be heading over to our industry updates right after this.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, You need to give us a call right now. Private healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, give us a call at 800-733-6860. 800-733-6860.
Welcome back to the Turnpike Sports Book Report. Doug Weischadle here with Dave Weischadle. We're going to start off our industry update segment here in the state of Indiana. The Indiana Gaming Commission has approved the Norway First Division Soccer League, the Monster Energy AMA Supercross, and Dana White's Contender Series for legalized wagering in the state. They've added to the wagering.
Yeah, I know.
menu.
I always love hearing what states are adding sports to their menu of betting, because sometimes I've never even heard of these. Norway's First Division. So I don't know what First Division.
There's so many
but
different
you know
soccer
what?
leagues out there.
I'm going to look it up because
Yes.
I hear that Indiana said it's okay to be betting on it. But
I like the Supercross edition.
yeah,
You're
the
starting to see a
Monster
lot more
Energy
motorcycle
AMA,
racing and all that, so that's really cool to see.
a sport I knew nothing about. So
Okay.
no, I don't know. Supercross. I don't know what that's the
Motorcycle racing,
motorcycles.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Moving over to the state of Michigan, we're going from adding sports to adding a new brand to the market.
Yes. A classic brand, by the way.
Yeah, I guess you can call it that. Caesars new online casino, the Horseshoe Online Casino, has launched in its second state. This is now in rollout. The rollout is conducted in partnership with the Sault Ste. Marie tribe of Chippewa Indians.
Nice.
This is the second online brand Caesars has now in the state. Caesars Palace, Michigan online casino has already brought in something like $11 million a month in terms of revenue for Caesars, and Caesars has said they hope that the new brand Horseshoe will at least be able to garner half that before any cannibalization situations occur. There's that word again, cannibalization.
Yeah, I would. I hope they come to New Jersey. I would love to check Horseshoe out. So
Yeah.
it's such a classic brand, and it's and Caesars is doing amazing things in the online casino field. I know we have Caesars online casino, then you have Caesars Palace online casino, and now hopefully soon Horseshoe.
Yeah.
Casino. So no, Caesars is tearing it up when it comes to online casinos.
Staying in Michigan, we got the Michigan Control Board issuing a cease and desist letter to Ace 23 and Ace Per Head. This is a group out of Costa Rica that has been functioning as a sportsbook and casino service provider without a license.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they purport to have a license in
I'm-
Canada
I'm-
and Costa
yeah.
Rica, but they're not licensed in Michigan. Well, I almost said Massachusetts, but they're not licensed in Michigan, so they got a cease and desist letter. Very interesting operation that they had going in Michigan. Basically, customers could actually start their own skins businesses
okay.
and run them, and Ace 23 and its counterparts, Ace 23 AG, would actually handle everything else in terms of dispersing the money, to putting up the odds, all that. So they were running it, but it was a skin run by their customers.
Interesting.
So they have been asked to leave the state.
Yeah, Well, I'm very curious. We've had a whole list of cease and desists from different states with Bovada.
We're not done yet.
Oh, what? Oh, we got another one.
More cease and desist.
Well, that's what I
coming your
mean. I'm glad that they're taking control of these unlicensed sites, but I'm curious if any of these unlicensed sites want to say, okay, we'll apply for a license, or we'll become part of the gaming community through using the proper regulation. I'm assuming not, because it's probably cost prohibitive to a lot of these places. But now I'm just curious to see if in the future, places like Bovada and places like Ace 23 say, you know what, yes, we want to be part of the gaming landscape in your state. We're going to apply for a license. I don't know if they're going to do that, but who knows?
Well, over in
if you're not, you're going to be asked to leave.
Massachusetts, speaking of being asked to leave, Massachusetts Gaming Commission has sent a cease and desist letter to Bovada.
All right.
Latest ones to do so. They took umbrage to the phrases U.S.-based and America's #1 destination for online sports betting and gambling as well. So they were a little miffed at Bovada for using those phrases.
It's almost like Bovada was daring.
Well, it's all over their website.
I know.
Over in Connecticut, we've got the Connecticut Department of Consumer Protection sending a cease and desist letter to VGW Holdings, which runs Chumba Casino and Lucky Land Slots.
All right.
They were asked to leave the state as well for running unlicensed gambling there. They have updated their website to say that they are not accepting customers from Connecticut.
First off, it's cheaper probably to pull out, because let me tell you something. Fees are one thing to be a licensed vendor, but then to fight it, you have to pay a lawyer.
Yep.
And that's a lot of money.
Yes. Last story of the week here, we've got Betfred. Betfred Sports, as we know, have been slowly pulling out of the U.S. market. They currently, well, let me go step back a bit. They are now out of Virginia. They have stopped taking deposits.
All right.
They will be leaving the Commonwealth of Virginia. As a matter of fact, I'm looking at the calendar right now. Today is the day, October 21st, that they are leaving the Commonwealth of Virginia.
Okay.
They were no longer able to deduct promotional deductions from their revenue. So
Virginia,
it was cost prohibitive to continue operating in the state, according to them. So they have decided to exit the state.
Virginia is one of the states where if you get your sports operator license, you only have 1 year to do the promos.
12 months, whenever that is.
Bonuses. Yeah. Well, 12 months, 1 year.
When you say 1 year, some people
and then
think
after that,
year.
and then after that, you can't do it.
Yeah.
So,
But usually when you say 1 year, some people think it's like the entire year of 2023.
I guess that's a good way to do it, because the first year you're getting up and
Maryland's
running.
getting rid of theirs completely,
yeah,
looks like. So we'll see what happens there. But Betfred is still only in Iowa and Pennsylvania now, and they have brick-and-mortar sports books in Nevada, Louisiana, and Washington State in operation in the U.S. market. That's it for the deals. We're going to finish up with our legislative roundup. Starting off our legislative section here, we are heading back to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, where after nearly a decade, if not a little longer than a decade, the Mass Gaming Commission is moving forward with a data collection project dealing with problem gambling.
Okay.
It's been on the books since everything was passed. They have not been able to actually do the data project, not because they wanted to wait until all the casinos were launched in the state.
Yep.
Now they are. And also COVID caused a delay.
Sure.
So this has been part of the 2011 enabling law that was passed, requiring casinos supply commission with data collection.
Let me tell you
that,
something. This is probably a good thing that they waited, because in 2011, they knew they were getting casinos, but now they have casinos and sports betting. So that's another element they can really look at.
More importantly,
so it'll be a more complete survey, I think, because now you can do everything in all aspects of gaming in Massachusetts.
Well, more importantly, not just sports betting, but also the online sports betting as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Over in Colorado, we have Proposition JJ on the November ballot. Proposition JJ would remove the cap in terms of sports betting tax revenue collection for the state.
Okay.
Right, if it's passed, it will let Colorado keep all the sports betting tax revenue it collects. Right now, it goes up to $29 million per year in terms of tax revenue that they keep, with the refund going back to the operators.
Okay.
The surplus going back. If
this is one of those measures wow, we didn't know we were going to make all this money.
That's exactly it.
So
That's exactly it.
that's like the equivalent of a bettor saying,
Yep.
wow, I really should have bet more on that parlay
Yep.
that I just won.
That's exactly
So
what Colorado's
pretty
doing
much
right
what
now.
they're doing right now.
According
So,
to preliminary data, the previous fiscal year exceeded the cap of $29 million. This year is going to be exceeding the cap as well, and they're predicting next year will exceed the cap. Basically, even if it's approved, the disbursement will get increased, but it will go to the same places. It's all for their water projects.
yeah.
If it fails, back to this way it was, anything over $29 million gets refunded back to the operators.
Okay.
And our last story comes out of Kentucky. We're dealing with a 1798 law. The year 1798.
Well, that can't be good.
It's a law that allows third parties to recover residents' losses from illegal gambling in the state. It's an interesting law.
Yeah.
Causes a lot of problems. It worked once before. I believe an online poker site lost $300 million due to a lawsuit under this law. We have a new lawsuit filed against gray market games in the state. So this is a new approach to gray market games that somebody's trying. It's being brought by a nonprofit dealing with gambling addiction.
Well, I guess they're trying to get gray market out of the state. So, and I guess this is a good way to motivate them to leave. Is that what the whole idea and concept is behind this?
That's basically it.
Yeah.
It's a 226-year-old law that it's called a Recovery Act.
I would love the great things about laws is they're enacted for a particular reason, and a lot of these old laws have great stories behind them. You know, I would love to know why this was passed in the 1700s. Something must have happened. Something was
Somebody
going
felt
screwy.
cheated. Somebody felt cheated.
Someone was screwing around
Yeah.
with something, and you know they enacted a law. And
Yes.
so 226 years ago, something crazy happened that made them put this law in. But you know.
Yep.
I'd love to know the story behind it.
We'll see where this goes. It's going to be interesting to see what the fallout is on this, because it is attacking the gray market games that do cause the politicians some angst.
Well, good.
Yes.
Maybe if they're probably using it the right way, probably using it as a tool to keep unlicensed operators out. So
That's it for this week's Turnpike Sports Book Report. As always, a full print version of this report will be put onto our blog, turnpikesports.us. Click on the blog button. It will have stories we talked about here. It will have stories in the ticker that is flying by below us, with additional stories in terms of international as well as entertainment stories. And there will be additional stories that we have not even had a chance to talk about in this half hour on the written blog. Feel free to head on over there. Like I said, turnpikesports.us. Hit the blog button. You'll be taken there. That is put out every Monday morning after the show is released. And as always, press releases, info@turnpikesportsradio.com.
and that'll do it for us this week. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike.